and at home. Both sides of a story. Both sides of the story, highlighting the positive role of the Jamaican diaspora. Both sides of a story. Both sides of a story. Both sides of a story. Both sides of a story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Via the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, as well as on onespotmedia.com. Plus, listeners in the USA can dial 631-359-8281 to listen. And if you're in the UK and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, you can call 0330-606-0953. You can watch both sides of the story live on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Both Sides 106. Email bothsides106@live.com. Send your WhatsApp voice notes or your messages and text messages to 876-365-3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of a story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of a story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of a story. Both sides of a story. Both sides of the 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 story. Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Hour 106.
Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in that we are born again to eternal life.
Dark through the heat, through the cold, with your friend by your side, on his hand and watched him die, crying out your brain for his soul. I can't imagine how it felt as he stood there, through the winds that would just not go away. Kiss my wife, tell my son, I work on earth is round. The one that can still hear them say, oh, is there anybody out there living? And does anybody know my name? No, my friend, we were not there, but we're here and yes, we feel your pain. And yes, we feel your pain. I can't imagine how you felt as you sat there, trying to hide the fear on your face. As the earth begins to cry, and you ask the preacher why, tonight we can hear the children say, hear them say, is there anybody out there listening? And does anybody know my name? No, my friend, we were not there, but we are here and we feel the pain. Oh, does anybody out there know you know? Can you stop the clock? Make this go away. No, because I cannot bear, but God can and He cares, and yes, He feels. And yes, He feels your pain. listening. And does anybody know my name? Oh, my friend, we were not there, but we're and we can. Yes, we feel your pain. Yeah. When we were not there, but I'm right here and I tell you, yes, he feels your pain. I cannot bear, but he can and he can. Yes, we feel your pain. Ooh, yeah. The clock is ticking. We hear you. Oh my, oh my. See. He's got the whole world in his hand. Oh. He's got the whole world. You and me, sister. You and me, brother. Mama.
This piece was created after the earthquake in Haiti, that massive quake. Kirk Franklin presents Artists United for Haiti. That was the original purpose of this recording. And with all that our people have had to contend with, especially those along the southern sections of Jamaica, we want to play a part in exuding a level of respect and regard for those impacted by Hurricane Beryl. There are those who thought it was over, as in really and truly over. But thanks be to God, we're still here and we give thanks. We give thanks. It's Thursday, the 29th of August, 2024, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 2:15. Do you own land and need your title now? Come to Geoland Title Limited. We do first-time title application, land surveys included, estate matters, lost title application, and remove names on your registered titles. Have no land documents? Come see us. We can help. We're in Kingston, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Clark, St. Anne, Westmoreland, and St. James. Or see us online, geolandonline.com, or call 754-6436. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Geoland Title Limited, your land partners. Land title is our business. Fire, fire, hydro treats and win a product, yeah. In the farm to orchard promotion.
Hydro is back with another chance for you to win a share of millions in the Farm to Fortune promotion. Try for the grand prize of $3 million, weekly prizes of $100,000 plus daily prizes. Enter by any qualifying Hydro feed and text the entry code in the bag for your chance to win a product, yeah. In the Hydro Farm to Fortune promotion.
Your pocket grow,
Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting Gaming and Lotteries Act.
The Coconut Industry Board presents World Coconut Day. Coconut for a circular economy. Building partnerships for maximum value. Saturday, August 31 at the Coconut Industry Board, 18 Waterloo Road, Kingston 10. Join us from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Major attractions, agri-businesses, incentives and financing, food safety and certification, agro-processing, coconut grower registration, pest and disease management, entertainment galore, kids painting class, giveaways, free health checks, and lots more. Be there.
you and me, sister, you and me, brother, mama.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we're looking forward to your calls and your messages and comments and general participation in our program, Both Sides of the Story. And so we're taking your calls on 922-4112 to 5. That's 876-922-4112 to 5. Our text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. We look forward to your participation, and we have no doubt there are others who got in early, so to speak, and have been waiting to have their say with all that's been happening, news-wise and otherwise. So we want to do a bit of clearing, just making sure we are making good use of the information that is being shared with us, and are wanting to ensure that we don't miss anything. There's a story of an aircraft, Delta Boeing 757, tire exploding in Atlanta airport, killing 2. Very sorry to hear that. Very unusual. And we express our condolences and look forward to learning what happened so that the operators can ensure that that situation is minimized or does not happen again. And there are a couple of bizarre things I've taken a note of. One of them, a situation where a shark was wrongfully listed or named as having been involved in scenario at the beach. Quite bizarre. Never heard of anything the way how that story unfolded. But you live and you learn. And when it comes on to swimming, or as I always say, if you know you can't swim, stay on the shore. Let the water come to you. You don't go out to the water. So, another opportunity to caution those of us who love the beach, love to enjoy the beach and go for a swim, etc. But we have to be so mindful of all kinds of possibilities. And so, as long as we do it safely, we should be okay for the most part. So, we welcome you once again to this afternoon's edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876 922 4112 to 5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. And we have a couple of early birds, as we had said. So we're going to clear up a few of those. This one from Camille Hopwood saying, Mr. Malcolm, we're in St. Elizabeth and we're in St. Elizabeth, the Minister of Labour, Charles, will be. I want to attend. Well, sorry that you missed us at the actual location when we were in Clarendon, Maypen, Clarendon, at St. Gabriel's Church, Anglican Church, at 10 Church Street in Maypen, Clarendon. So sorry you missed us, but guess who didn't miss us? Raskaba. Raskaba was on spot and taking in the experience. That was quite refreshing. Good to see you, Raskaba. Good seeing you. And all the very best. Let's go to this call right now. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Mr. Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Afternoon. Churchman here again, sir.
Yes, Churchman,
Yeah,
welcome.
I'm calling here from Spring Grove again, St. Porous. Mr. Dervan.
What is Porous like? What is Porous like these days? Haven't driven that way in a long time.
Yes, but I did give you an invitation that you should come with a walk around in the areas and see what's going on. But
You mean you had made a suggestion?
Yes, I just see you because people want to see you whether you come around and talk to people. Because what happened though, the leaders that come in and doing it, because from the hurricane, the people I saw here is just some people spraying mosquitoes. It's one time. So I haven't seen anybody talking to the people and all these things.
Yeah, well, we had quite a bit of support, outpouring of support yesterday.
Where was that?
That was at St. Gabriel's Anglican Church in Maypen, Clarendon. And their presentations, you weren't, well, maybe you're not aware that there's a program for Jamaicans who have been negatively affected by Hurricane Beryl, and they're supposed to make submissions, provide their information so that the government can make provisions. And some checks were handed out yesterday in the town, among other things. Mainly checks.
Yes.
In the,
I think that's the problem with the government. You're handing out. That's wise enough.
What would have been the preferred? What would have been the preferred route? What?
Yes, I think the best way to deal with the country is that no handout. You must go at the community, sit and talk to the people, and have some meeting, regular meeting, and you speak with the people then, and you see how the people live, and those are the potential. You have some they identify with great potential. You invest in those first, and those persons will lift up the community. We they have good ideas, so start those persons, give them grants.
Well, one of them was a poultry farmer. One of them was a poultry farmer of about 200, with about 200, a capacity for 200 birds.
Yes. Yes, poultry is great to what you need wood. And you're gonna identify people with great skill, and where you can send them with improve on those things, and build up them, and allow those persons to build the community. Give them grant, and you come in and you invest. But you work and give you things that they're not going to depend on you. That's a good idea, and you keep on doing it, and getting the same result. So they run Spring Grove here, sir. The JPS, they come and fix the light here. Where I live, they call it chocolate walk. But the light wire them very closer, and the breeze lower and touching together. And that dangerous with fire.
Has that been brought? Has it been brought to the attention of the JPS?
Yes, I called them about it about nothing. They do nothing about it, and you have where wires should be at the post. Not on the post, they tie it in tree. They tie the wire in the tree. Right now, it's very dangerous down here. And we call them, and I don't see them come. They say they come, but they don't come. It's very dangerous now. So
as a community, then you have to, as a community, you might want to get together and insist to demonstrate how serious you are about the potential trouble that could bring.
Yes, it's happened already, and the wire is a Dervan touch. And I say it's like a judgment, and it chop off,
Sorry, hold a moment, please. Just a moment.
Yes.
You're listening to Burrow 106 FM. The time is now 2:30. Hydro is back with another chance for you to win a share of millions in the 5 to 40 promotion. Try for the grand prize of $3 million. Weekly prizes of $100,000 plus daily prizes. To enter, buy any qualifying Hydro feed and tip the entry code in the bag for your chance to win a private yacht in the Hydro 5 to 40 promotion. Conditions apply. Authorized by the Section 68 of the Basic Gaming and Ultra Stats.
So the base
best in high-quality footwear, accessories, and professional service, Sammy's Shoe Store is your answer. They have been satisfying your needs for dress shoes, school shoes, athletic shoes, and work shoes for over 50 years, with 5 stores downtown King Street, Sovereign Village Boardwalk, Premier Plaza, Halfway Tree, Boulevard Super Center, Bangkok Hall, and Cumberland Road, Spanish Town. Or shop online at sammysja.com. Sammy's, the shoe people will be here to meet your back-to-school needs for another 50 years.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Yes, sir. Please continue.
Yes, Mr. Dervan, and as I was saying, the wire before, the same wires there, because what happened 2 years was on some tree, so we cut the tree and everything, we the citizen, and they come in the night about 12 o'clock and give us back light, so it's a rush thing them do. So it happened already where the wires get near this and big fire, Mr. Dervan, big explosion. And it dropped in the road where it could kill somebody. And right now, the same thing. The wire them so close. Close, the three of them, Mr. Dervan. Close. So, it's a spring road, chocolate wall. And Mr. Dervan, I don't remember if you remember where I was talking to you about the market in Poros. You remember, sir?
Yes.
Yes. I saw where them knocking down the market, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That part of it was where the slaughter ground is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what they do there, but they knock it down, but I really that's a good idea to knock it down, but I'm saying if they could use that place, really a big place, and build up something good where the community for us could benefit. Probably they could put up a tax office or something, or a park, turn it into a park then. I don't have any park here for us, and some nice little commercial thing that for us could be developed. And the highway, Mr. Dervan, it's mashing up for us now because vehicle them pass it, because they bypass the town. So I'm saying if they could cut a road exactly through for us and go right on the highway, so, and then allow people to come off and go on the highway in force. I think that would be a good idea because even when the highway open up, I don't think force will come back to where it was because right now it's a beating Mr. Dervan. We'll get a beating and the business ever mash up and all these things. The town gone down Mr. Dervan. Hello?
Well, the idea is to rebuild,
Yes.
literally and figuratively, and that
Yes.
a lot of that will have to take place.
Yes.
And we just have.
It's still bad in Mr. Dervan. It's bad here in Forest, I'm telling you. It's really bad. When you go other places like Junction and other town, you see where something going on, Olama and all those towns, but in Forest, Mr. Dervan, nothing. And you have young people coming from school, they leaving school and all these things. You know, you have to go in a way other community. And Mr. Dervan, I don't think it will good for the person that represents the people. They should speak out for the people and try to help the people, man. Give them a hope. You know, because if you are now we continue violence. And it's a nice place, Mr. Dervan. It's a nice place and people them loving, but sometimes, you know, when you push the people too far, they will get desperate and become violent. Mr. Dervan. Mr. Dervan?
Yes, I'm listening.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm not hard to that, sorry.
Yeah, just to say that I I remember doing a broadcast, at least one from
Yes.
Porus, and actually learned the story of Porus, the Porus brothers, who gave Christopher Columbus hell.
Yes.
That kind of history, that kind of heritage, can produce, can create a job or two, just by virtue of having a tour guide,
Yes.
and sharing the history of the area, and
Yes.
using it, still continuing as a full-fledged market.
Yes. If I'm getting Lord or Mr. Dervan, I don't know.
And you're getting louder, and I'm hearing you
I'm
clearer.
getting louder. Yeah.
Mm,
Oh, yes, yes.
mm,
Yes, sir. And it's a good idea, Mr. Dervan, because when you come in the community, of course, here, it's a rich history, Whitney Turn. I don't know up the hill there, a place in Whitney Turn. I hear that used to be a big farm, where I don't sure there's a helicopter, see so land up there, and you have an expand where they call Dawkins. Massive place in Durban, but
mm.
it's the woodland it turn into because the young people are not planting back any tree and doing anything, but it's a good place where the history and you could invest in tourists go mountain, you bring up with the mountain and have experience with bird because every year they come and shoot bird here, up in the hills. But
Yes.
Mr. Durban, I believe we need some vision, but in everything also, I think we are in the last days and in the last days, Mr. Dervan, the thing that is happening in the country, it grieves God. Because the heat, even the heat at the time now, Mr. Dervan, it's not normal because even today I'm here working and I can hardly go. Heat's terrible, Mr. Dervan. So something will happen and you have the earthquakes so frequently, you have these tremor. So something will happen, Mr. Dervan. But we have to hope and pray for the best. Mr. Dervan, you take care, sir.
You too.
Sometimes I don't hear from me. It's sure I'm really well busy.
That's a good thing. Busy is a good thing.
Yeah, man, I always busy, Mr. Dervan, because I'm not a person just talking. When you hear me talk, Mr. Dervan, I have 3 children and my son have 18 subjects. And I am not a man that's brilliant when it comes out to education.
Congratulations to your
when you teach him.
Congratulations to your son.
Yes, I tell you, okay.
And his family, of which you are a part.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Dervan, it's just hard work, you show them. I'm not a person that, but you put in the hard work, and them see how you struggle, them determined, and them. Because when you were going to school in primary, he was not really a brilliant, that our classmate was ahead of him.
We're gonna have to change the language, though, or we communicate about our children, whether they're doing well or not. We sometimes say some things that perhaps we might want to consider before uttering some of those sayings and thoughts, but we have to just encourage them every step of the way. You can't lose if you encourage them every step of the way.
Yes. But life now is so difficult, sir. we sometimes
Mm-hmm.
not use it in my head. Because sometimes I know I don't buy food. So if you come at my place now, every day I mix drinks, I can just pick some guava, and everything, and you can just dig two potato, we can give piece of yam, and we have other trees, work, Mr. Dervan.
Mm-hmm.
We have work, we have that really as a farmer, depending on the farming, but, just use the head and you don't have to really spend buying food. You can live kind of comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So, so Dervan,
That's a good thing.
So you take care.
You too.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. We're taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Someone, let me see. Someone is asking or saying, Mr. Malcolm, we got electricity in Warminster District, St. Elizabeth last night. We are so grateful. Almost 2 months of not having. And this is from Camille Hopwood. Good to connect with you. Thank you for your message. And when this person is asking, although the date, no, this is dated. All right, let's take this call. Raskava, greetings.
Yes, sir, greetings.
I was saying on air earlier on how good it was to have seen you yesterday in all your element.
Well, it was rather more than good. It was great seeing you again, and I've always wanted to come and welcome you to the only party that done every time you're there. So, give thanks it finally happened,
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are asking me why I'm not being heard, but life is a journey, and sometimes you stop drinking water, you rest, but if it's a journey, you have to continue. So
well said.
That virgin that just spoke from Galchester there a while ago,
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to get in touch with Mrs. Diana Pike.
McIntyre Pike
from Mandeville. She's the one who this responsible for those cultural events in the tourism sector. So she did start a little craft section up at the market there for ones who
I remember that.
do craft work.
Mm.
Right. So get in touch with her, and there when you come to Whitney Turn and you go up that hill, it leads you to Whitney, which was a slave estate. So there's a viaduct there that carries the water from Damhead down to Whitney, and they used to filter it now to the reservoir and Whitney Hill that support filtering with the Hampton Road well too. So the backyard would be there. Even the backside mine out some of the place, they would not trouble that part of it because the backside wouldn't even be there. So, but
all right, hold on one moment, please, Raskava. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Both Sides of the Story.
Confidence in those who serve, especially in the public sector, is vital to Jamaica's progress towards Vision 2030 and beyond. Many people have quietly and diligently given sterling service over the years to the benefit of many Jamaicans at home and across the world. Power 106 FM, in playing its part in showcasing those individuals who served in building our nation and to create greater public understanding and appreciation of their sacrifice, presents the feature Service Stalwarts. Listen to Service Stalwarts every Wednesday at 4 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm right here on Power 106 FM.
Both sides of a story.
Thanks for holding, Rascava. Back with you. Or forward with you.
Give thanks to Queen Cecile, who have met, re-met again, re-meet again after a long time. Yes, so that viaduct, it was, the history have it that it was built by one slave, and it was built from red brick. You know those red brick work at Dervan, not Dervan, so by Huey, where the chapel is, they have those brickwork.
Mm-hmm.
And use next to arch up there.
Yes.
Right, so that's the kind of red dirt brick the whole viaduct make from. It carries the water from Dam Head. And it was said that a one slave, Neki, and before they pay him, he was poisoned because they didn't want to pay him.
Uh-oh.
And at one point, they have to be sweeping the water downhill for the water to flow downhill. Mm-hmm. So there's a rich history up there. The first man trap that I have seen is on that estate. It looked like you would have had two sea, and you're trying them at both end. And when you open it out, it becomes a circle. So when you open it now, you have some long teeth, about 4 inches, make out of some terrible iron. And when you open it out now, it's flat out on the ground. And they would, when the slaves them used to use as an escape route now, they used to put that trap in that area, because most time at night the slave them run away. So they would cover it with bush. And when that, you step on one little thing where they across it in the middle that prevent it from shut. When you step on that now and it fly and grab your foot. And if a 10 hour up a runway 10 hour can open it back to release it. So they will catch that slave. And you know what happened to them next.
Oh,
so
yes.
That part, man, I say, when we see that bridge, then we could have carried it, we have it among the collection now. But people take that train and scrap iron and sell it. But I mean, I tell you, so, man, that's why I want to know that happening, you know, man. The people them sell it in a scrap iron. And them don't know the history that thing carries and how much it would have benefited a lot of ones. From children balls there organized. Still looking forward for those orange fruits and a whole. That used to be there from the railway was active. People used to go on the train side and sell the orange and then get their little food same way. So if them could have get that organized, they still could have that as an outlet. Have their stall where they can lock up them things in the morning, then go open up back and evening then go back home. Because I know see them go cut no other road near to toll gate to exit our entrance off of the highway again. Go I mean now we don't spend that the money. You know have them the people down the sort hard. So toll gate out the so where you enter exit. Then I'm gonna make one a scotch fast again. That will cost too much unnecessary money. So either it's cheaper them set up those little shops up there so that the item can go up there. A year is me spend a cent at poor estate, you know. Right now, me have some trophy in the cabinet that when we make and people used to play football, feet and all of them things. They're very good moments I spent down there. Get my first 3 children down there. So I have it at heart myself. So that's my suggestion. Bring it to that sister there on a farm and association down the man that you can approach the municipal council with a more stronger voice than one man just talk about it. Because they're not going to listen so much. But when you have an association they will think they will get all of the votes from that. So they will listen to a community organization than an individual. So that's my little much of suggestion. Hope they look into it, whether I agree with that shilling or opinion.
Thank you very much for sharing your
Yes,
thoughts
sir.
with
And
us.
thanks again.
All the best. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. We're still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5 and the text line 876-365-3346. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
We are still having some phone problem in our era still, but this time we can go through flow, flow mostly digital going through sometime, but flow not going through most of the time in my era,
Yeah, sorry to hear that. Hope the situation is taken care of sooner than later.
Yeah, well, I just want to put this little piece across just the same,
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, 2 weeks ago, I called to ask if there was anything put in place for Marcus Garvey, Earth Strong on the 17th of August.
Yes.
I would like to really make the public knew that over the past 34 years, IFM always putting on a tribute for Marcus Garvey.
That is true.
Yeah, at the court yard in Orchard, St. Andrew, So the 18th of August,
Yes, that's the RFM premises.
Yeah, man, IFM.
Mm-hmm.
The 18th of August was really, because was Sunday the 18th of August, was it, Because we have really, anytime the birthday fall on any day of without Sunday, they always have it the first Sunday,
Yes.
The main speaker was Mr. Samuel, Bert Samuel,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the philosophy of Marcus Garvey.
Mm-hmm.
His son also, Dr. Garvey, was always in presence, along with many more. Over some hundred of people was there. It starts from 6 in the morning to midnight. After 6 to 6, you have the presentation are speakers from various, even the Caribbean era, like Trinidad, sometimes Guyana and places like that, even America. And in the evening now you have the musical part of it right back till midnight. So really IRFM is one of the radio stations in Jamaica who always highlight these things,
Mm-hmm. That is true.
I don't know if many people know that there is a program on it they call Running After Stardom.
Yes, I've heard it. I've listened to it.
Well, yeah, so that is, because I will say that I don't know how many of the radio stations, and I can't say that from my angle are political. But I know that IRFM is not one of them. They don't tell you as it is, So a lot of things really where might not come on the other radio station, always come on IRFM, Muta Baruka, Angela.
We're gonna start charging, Yeah.
Who really remember Marcus Garvey. Even the mayor of St. John was here. Michael Benjamin, he was also against speaker, So that is where it is. So we just wanted to know that there was really people in Jamaica to remember the work of Marcus Garvey,
Yes.
And we have a lot to be thankful for these people who remember these people who have sacrificed them time, them, and many, many, many things.
Yes.
For the development of Jamaica. And we will, Jamaica is a nice place, nice place, but a lot of us don't know what we have until we lose,
That's true.
We have used in our one another. And when you look who are we used to cry about the white man killing us and save us, but we are doing it than white as black people. But when you gonna see ourselves, what are we fighting? Because we are fighting, we are going to leave it and going.
That's right.
They could live in love and unity and see your brothers of my body. It starts, Mr. Malcolm, it starts when I get up every year. I hear the amount of people, and it starts to say that when I hear it's mostly young youth, them at the age of 20, 24, 25, 20. What their future is all about. What one of them look at them. To get up and kill them with one another like them. Are we a human? What are we? That's it starts.
Yes.
Where it starts, and I only hope that you might wake up and live on Bob Marley.
Well said.
Wake up, make we wake up and live and see what we are doing for one another. So Mr. Malcolm, I'm saying, I am a very regular listener to this program. And my favorite program, all of them is my favorite, but it's the farming program with Miss Mackenzie. Which I am like very over the past 4 years now. But I'm listening to your program for the past year, and I have a lot of respect for everybody that's part. But your program is one who I like so much things and bring people together, near and far. And that is all we should live.
Very well said.
Yeah, so come on, have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of the day.
You too.
All right.
All right, take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Let's take another call. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yes, Mr. Dervan, a pleasant afternoon to you and your listeners.
Good afternoon to you too.
Yes, I know times we have said so many things and don't recognize the point of reality. And everybody been saying they're saying the truth. But help us to come to knowledge and to gain accurate knowledge. For the majority, we have knowledge, but it's not accurate. And to say this, even that last scholar there, talking about the killing of one another. The universe we are in, as the Bible says, God created the heaven and the earth, and He see fit to make mankind on it and to enjoy life. But when come to think of it,
hold a moment, please. One moment, please. One moment.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high quality concrete products. The time at Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
Your taxes hold the key. Taxpayers. Select tax offices will be open this month and Saturday for your convenience. Conduct motor vehicle transactions, pay property tax or traffic tickets, renew your driver's license, or drop off the relevant documents at any of the following locations: St. Andrew, St. Anne's Bay, Montego Bay, Mandeville, or Savannah Lamar from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Portmore office remains open on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Visit www.jamaicatax.gov.jm or call 888-TAX-HELP for details. Tax Administration Jamaica, changing the way we do business.
Tiles, and more tiles. It's the Totally Tile sale event at Home and Things. Enjoy up to 70% off select mosaic tiles. Check out our new arrivals of elegant Spanish porcelain and stylish ceramics at unbelievably low prices. Save big on A-grade floor and wall tiles. Trendy designs, colors, and sizes. We've got it all. Plus other discounts store-wide. Catch the Totally Tile sale event now on at Home and Things, Old Hope Road and Constant Spring Road. Lots of tiles, lots of style.
Oh my, oh my. See.
He's got the whole world in his hand. Oh.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, as we continue with more of your calls. Hello, thanks for holding.
Okay, Mr. Malcolm, thanks a lot also for your patience. And they always say, patient man ride donkey, but that donkey alone, they ride bicycles also. So to say this answer that, Mr. Malcolm, each other can teach each other, for we go to school to learn, and we have a teacher that teaching us. But if I have money and buy a car, give you, Mr. Malcolm, to drive for me, the car belongs to me, don't it? But you control the car, isn't?
Come again.
So
Go again.
I bought a car, give you to drive for me.
Mm-hmm.
The only car is my own, but you control the car.
Well, I would love to see the documents for the vehicle.
Yeah,
That's the
but
best
it's
way to
my
know.
car. It's
No,
my
you're
car.
asking me
You can
without
drive.
without my seeing any form of documentation.
I agree with that, Mr. Malcolm, but listen what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like how many, okay, the government buy all these buses, and the driver, the employee drives to drive the buses, that's all.
Yeah.
Good? Good.
That's standard.
But all the buses is for the government, but the driver, them control the bus, don't they?
What do you mean by control?
By driving it to and fro, east, west, north, south, wherever their destination is.
So you're using the term of some kind of duty bound
pertaining to the universe. God created the heaven and the earth, but at the same time, you have the government, the government about in this area. God said, the Prime Minister run Jamaica. In other countries, you have the Queen and other kings and run the countries, don't.
Go ahead and make your point. I'm listening.
They are the one who control and make their regulation and standard. But at the same time, the adversary, which is Satan, the devil, is the one who over them. So they had to do what the devil had them to do. So they are bringing mankind to them own injury. Take for instance, Mr. Malcolm, I make this reference to you already, and I'm not quarreling only because at times I get like talking a little louder. You being commit yourself in Kingston, and you go before the court, and the court say, well, okay, Mr. Malcolm, you cannot go back in Kingston, you have to go Westmoreland. And they must not see you back in Kingston until your court day over. Did the government make a provision for you in Westmoreland? Not because you have a family down there. Did the government make a provision for you to go there and stay down there for 10 years, 5 years, 15 years? You're not employed. You don't have anyone to support you. How it goes, tell me. I would like to hear from those who call themselves in authority or justice or whatever lawyers are there. Do they have a provision for you down there? Yes or no?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
How you mean, Mr. Malcolm? You have your PhD, you're supposed to understand what I'm saying.
You serious?
Rights are there. Are they making any request to the government? I make a reference to you a while ago, you know, that if you commit yourself in Kingston, and they say you cannot go back in Kingston, you have to go in down Montego Bay. And they did make a provision for you down there. But they say you don't ever go see it, so. Might be some relatives are so. Your relative might be not working or you not working. How the situation will work out?
I still don't get it.
Malcolm, get the Justice of Minister on the radio one of these days, and we call him and question him. For him, one of them in the house to make laws. The opposition make law and the government makes laws against people who, whether them commit or not commit. For I hear on the street, they say, we are man in a prison for over 5 years, and I allow them not charge him. And him come out, and the government must have to recompense, pay some whole for money. I don't know if he finished get that money yet or not.
So what would you like to resolve?
Pardon?
What would you like to resolve or conclude?
Mankind, I bring mankind to them own injury. So many of these people who call in the radio station, not making a difference. May you talk about the symmetry them, and if some of them look like worse than hogs die, the street corners and how much millions them been paying for street cleaning and all that, and the place look worse than the wilderness. Some of the places. You're driving in a transportation from some place. When you reach some place in the truck, maybe you have to bend on your head and 3 lick off your head. So I don't see that the country is growing, yes, in some way. Who? The politicians where people have run fall around, some of them have 35, 40 million, and the people them will run up and down behind them. Some of them have a good meal, some of them they have a good toilet or a good kitchen. So they only feather in their own nest. So I don't understand why Jamaican people don't wake up and see what they're in a whatever little backyard they have plants.
But you also could be a little clearer so people can understand what you're trying to do or what you're putting forward. That would be useful.
Mr. Malcolm, I'm thanking you for your patience, but what I'm saying, mankind, bringing mankind to their own injury. I make a reference to you a while ago that if you are in Kingston, and that's what I understand. And
I heard you the first time, so I'm asking you now what is your conclusion?
Them not care about people. Them not care about people. For the reference I made to you a while ago, and if the justice of the minister in the parliament and make laws and regulation, and they're going after gunmen and who kill who and they pay how much $1 million to go find out the person. They make any provision for the person where do something in a Kingston where might be they do nothing, but somebody point him out and they're telling a lie, and them send him away small and a man to go be and no provision don't left for him. How him to manage? If we got thief and rob?
No, take it to the court.
Mr. Malcolm, let me tell you, see that place here? Jamaica. I am live. But may I tell you, say, black people, we don't have no sense. Government, when I say lead, the government, the devil control the whole of them. Opposition leader, Prime Minister, whole of them in the House of Parliament. The devil had them, I use them for manipulate people in every situation. Like how the police them ride on a bus man and before they go look for criminal. For if a man not pay, if a man bus not up to date, they must find some way to get the money off of him and them continue run the bus same way. And if the bus meeting a collusion, might be people them have nothing to get for police get something. So the bus run same way without license and insurance. Thanks you for your call, Mr. Malcolm. And if you don't get to understand what I'm saying, get the Minister of Justice on the line and when we talk to him and ask him certain questions. Have a blessed day. Even the Prime Minister or the opposition leader, for him won't make a difference even now. Look how long two of them around the Jamaica. And instead it better it worse, but all them have to fight against one another to get power. Nothing more. Have a blessed day.
All right, thank you for the call. Take care. Bye-bye. Let's continue and take another call here on both sides of the story. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon.
Well, the topic in the one of the topic is about the election and about who believes in abortion and who don't and all that. And the conversation is always about whether women have the right to their body. or whether a woman have a right to have an abortion. Well, my view on that is no man, no woman not supposed to tell a woman what they're supposed to do with them body. If we men have a problem with what the woman do to them do with their body, we think I believe science is advanced to advance now and all kind of man are trying to do all kind of something to look like women. Anyway, so probably then maybe they can try some of them can put in some wool and remove the features from those women who don't want it and put it inside of them body. Because they are so concerned about the handband child and when people come from her, so much of them in Jamaica to have nobody with them. Look at the suffering of a lot of these young children end up being tossed to and through and through like leaves in the wind. Nobody with them, no guidance, no protection. That is all they want.
Who do you think should take responsibility for that? Who do you think should take responsibility for that?
Well, the people who are so adamant about women should have an abortion, should have abortion. They shouldn't allow any child to be suffering anywhere. They should, once the child is out there suffering, they should find a way to set them and take care of them. But don't tell me say when them before them born that is when that's the only time them have cancer. You know, I've been wondering. You remember back in the Bosnian War?
Mm-hmm.
Where I think it was the Serbians who when they capture, I think it was Albanian men, they would kill from 16 to 60 and put maybe the older ones in camp, and they would take the women and impregnate them in these camps and keep them until they couldn't have an abortion. And then they would let them out to have these children. You know, at the time, their research was done on these women. And the vast majority of these women said that they want nothing to do with these children. No, it is all well and good for people to be saying, oh, let them born because I mean they are human. Not taking into consideration the damage that is being caused on these children. Because I've not heard any follow-up on those children who are supposed to be adults now. But I know at the time there was serious question because 99% of these children were given up for abortion, for adoption, because the mother said they didn't want them. And one or two of them will keep, they say every time they look at the child, it's like they become hungry.
Oh, hold a moment, please. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
The clock is ticking. We hear you. Oh my, see you.
He's got the whole world in his hand. Oh. He's got the whole world.
You and me, sister. You and me, brother. Mama.
Thanks for holding. Please continue.
At the time, as I said, there was such bitterness among these women who were forced to carry children that they didn't want or didn't want nothing to do with. Now, who suffer? Is it the women them suffer because they had to carry a child in their body that they didn't want, and then after they get rid of it, after they didn't want anything to do. It is those children now who suffer. It would be interesting to find out what kind of psychological damage was done to the vast majority of those children. See? Because we don't seem to understand the balance that the human being the kind of nurturing that is needed for them to be a wholesome person. We keep looking at them and oh, it's like not even dog, puppy, or pussy kitten. Even those animals, when you take them and you care for them, you see how nice they respond. So we're just thinking about whose right it is to do what, but we're not thinking about what kind of life are you subjecting your children to. We don't hear about the same people who talk about how they are pro-lifers. They don't seem to have a problem about when their own government or people who live into their own church is responsible for creating weapons that is destroying people all over the place for money. Look at the amount of people who are being killed in the war between Russia and Russian satellite state now, Ukraine. Look at what is going on in Gaza. Look at what is going on in the Congo. Look at what is going on in
Palestine.
No, I mentioned that in the African man down in where after them get rid of Bashir, the one that in but they have had this long civil war or this long dictator who controls them. And after a while, he had to leave Bashir. One was the group that they used to call the Jump. We call them the Jump, so we used to slap the black people. And after them, he moved out. Military government took over. They had a civil war, half of the people have run. Now, they're having one group is in charge and the other group now comes to the one power. And they've been fighting ever since. Last week they tried to intervene for them to come to have some peace talk. And one of the leaders said, he's not going to stop fighting until it gets rid of his opponent, even if it takes 100 years. Now, these persons who are making these decisions, they're not dying now. I'm not going to die. Because they make sure they secure themselves. But it's the ordinary citizens and those who are, in this kind of war, it's like more civilians are being killed than those who are supposed to be involved in the actual fighting. But we don't hear enough being said by these so-called pro-lifers about these conflicts that are taking so much life and causing so much suffering. I think it is better that a child don't born than have to be born and brought into this kind, because they never ask somebody to bring them into this world. No, it never look for nobody until I want to be born. But yet you just go around.
But what about the mindset that says people are free to do whatever they want to do? People are free to be as whatever they want to be, so long as that freedom doesn't infringe on another person's freedom.
You are supposed to be responsible for the upkeep and the well-being of that person. So nobody not saying you can't live on the foot. You want to include that. If you want to have fun, have all fun in the world. You want to have sex, that's how you want to find. But don't get pregnant, because children are a huge responsibility. As a matter of fact, it's the greatest responsibility that we can take on to bring another life into this world. It's not a joke thing, it's not a telling moment to get them put on. Right? It is a life that requires care, nurturing, love, most of all.
We get you.
When you look in Jamaica today, you can see them, when you look and see how we are behaving towards each other, you can see that no love wasn't even considered in the conception. of these children. Most as a transactional sector, whatever, are accidental. Because if you love it, if you love something, you're going to take care of it. Anything that you love, you're going to take care of it. And if you can tell me that a lot of these children that are left all over the place, we keep hearing about how many unattached youth. We see how many of them are all over the place, wiping off windshield, doing all kind of thing that no, not in this day and age. People should be applying them brain, right? Not brawn to survive. And the thing that we see our fellow people, young people, have to be doing in this country. It is sinful to bring them into this world and subject them to the kind of condition that I think some of them being subjected to.
All right. Well, we thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. It's a special edition. We have a special segment coming up where we'll be focusing on the parish of St. Elizabeth. And so stand by for that. In the meantime, a lot of messages, a multiplicity of messages have been coming in. And we thank you. But we also want to be as efficient as we can so that everybody has a say insofar as that is possible. So the person who has sent us a voice clip, remember, we need time to listen to the clip to make a decision. So that takes a little time. But if you're able to send us a text message or a WhatsApp message, it might be a better option. All right, so we want to clear some messages now. And even as we thank our listeners for their participation, and Alfred sent a video to us. We can't look at the video right now. And let's see. Okay. All right, here's a who is this now? Sinis Stevenson is the moniker that is being used here. Let's see who this is. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, you are the same person who has been on for the last couple of times. Hold a moment. Let me make sure you can hear us properly. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, Sir Dervan. I'm sorry to call you back, but the reason why I call you is the abortion thing I hear a lot of people talking about. You hearing me, sir?
Yes.
Yes, and Mr. Dervan, I can give you two things I know about. I remember I have a friend, so friend tell me that a young man is his son. You know, and he tell me the history. He say his son mother were planning to have an abortion. And he tell the woman no, and it's not his son, you know. And he tell the woman just put him in her name. I know so that son to us is a soldier. He's a soldier, sir. And I hear another incident again, where this woman was on a market truck. And they rape her on the market truck. and she get pregnant. And it's a blessing from God because that son come and help that woman. So Mr. Dervan, when I hear about the abortion thing and people with the abortion thing, I would also ask them, if they mad and they kill them, what they would have let to this, sir? So I don't like to hear the killings of an innocent child. There's a terrible, a wicked person. You know. You can have an innocent child who don't do nothing and then you go and trouble him. But even if somebody raped you, you know, you don't have no right because, you know, some people trying for years to have a child. And it can't happen because
So
God
you,
said it don't happen. It can't happen. Yeah, that's what Mr. Dervan.
I hear you, but
So
I can also hear somebody else saying, "But hold on, this is my choice. This is my decision. This is."
Yes.
Hmm.
But Mr. Dervan, we have too much murder already. You know, God, we get really terrible with it if I hurt that because we have too much murder already, sir. You know, and that's why I love Trump. Because when I love Trump, because Trump, you know, even though people don't love him much, I don't plan to vote again, but if him come here, if he vote at Jamaica, they vote again, Mr. Trump. Because so much wickedness are going to hurt, and you don't kill the innocent now, and plan to kill them. It's the right side, bring down the wrath of God, not hurt.
We hear you loud and clear.
I think we have to try. Yes, sir. So, all right, so you take care. Just that me.
Okay. Thanks for the call. Bye bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Steve is in the house. Not literally. Steve McDonald in Ontario, Canada. I believe that's where he is. That's where he lives. And he's messaging us here. And we are not able to watch that video at this time, though, Steve. Would have to time it. And we're coming up on the break as well. And we do have those segments, parish focus segments, looking at St. Elizabeth, focusing on St. Elizabeth. So stand by as we continue with more on Both Sides of the Story. Special edition after the break.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30. The Auto World. It's the only program on Jamaica radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
As you suffer, trying to hide the fear upon your face. Sometimes the earth begins to cry, and you ask the preacher why. Tonight we can hear the children say, hear them say, is there anybody out there listening? And does anybody know my name? Know my name.
Looking forward to more eyes and ears and lips in terms of the participation of you, our faithful listeners at home and abroad, especially as we now take a look at St. Elizabeth in our parish focus segment here on Both Sides of the Story. an opportunity to get some updates as well. But first, let's welcome the Director of Corporate Communications at the Jamaica Public Service Company Limited, Ms. Winsome Callum. Good afternoon. How are you? Hello? All right, not hearing Winsome Callum, but we're scheduled to get an update on electricity restoration efforts in St. Elizabeth. This is one of the areas we're looking at. An update on electricity restoration efforts in St. Elizabeth and the idea of the level of restoration and whether there are others still without electricity and areas of concern arising from the restoration efforts. Have persons tried to go about restoring electricity supply on their own? We hope not, because that's not a good thing. But we also look forward to some kind of an overview of the special provision made for the people of St. Elizabeth. So it's encouraging news from what we're seeing and hearing so far. Right, Winsome Callum?
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, Dervan, it's encouraging news that we are hearing. Yes.
Yes. Let's see now. So
I'm sorry, I missed part of what you said. I've lost connection for a bit because I'm actually on the road in St. Elizabeth.
okay.
We were at an event earlier where the new president and CEO of JPS, Mr. Hugh Grant, announced that JPS has now completed restoration of damage caused by Hurricane Beryl,
Mhm.
and our customers are now back with supply.
Okay. Definitely refreshing news.
Certainly,
Mhm.
we're very happy
Yes.
because it's customers. It's been 7 or so weeks of challenging restoration processes for DPS, our team members across the island, but particularly so for our customers in St. Elizabeth. So for the past month or so, at least the 3 weeks, we have been in this parish. Uh, we deployed resources from elsewhere in the island to St. Elizabeth to expedite the restoration. As you're aware, this parish was the most badly affected,
Mhm.
and sections of the JPS network were completely destroyed. And that's part of the reason why it took so long for this parish to be restored. We are very happy now that St. Elizabeth now has power right across all the country.
Yes. Very good. And certainly the people of St. Bess must be quite relieved.
And they are. We were at a back to school event that JPS hosted in collaboration with the mayor of Black River. And this event was in Ginger Hill. And just to listen to the people share their experiences over the past few weeks, how challenging it has been without electricity, and how thrilled they are now, the difference it's making. You really appreciate the value of this the service, and how difficult it is without it. One of the things that we're really happy about is the fact that
we were able to get service back to all the parishes ahead of the start of the new school year.
Mm-hmm.
Over the next few days, we've been in contact with the Ministry of Education, and over the next few days, we're literally contacting all the schools to see, to make sure that everybody, that all the schools, all the educational institutions are served, have their supply back. What we're finding, we've been calling since this week, and what we're finding is that there are some institutions that have damage to their infrastructure, and so they're not able to receive the electricity supply, even though it is in the community. So we're working with a few schools to help them to repair or replace some of their infrastructure to make sure that they can indeed start the school year. In some cases, they are obviously using their own private electricians and contractors
Mm-hmm.
because they definitely are making their own efforts to start the new school year.
Mm-hmm.
So with our customers now, what we are doing, we now that we've completed the restoration of electricity post burial, what we're doing, we're asking customers who may still be out of supply. We've heard from a handful of customers who are still without supply since yesterday when we completed the restoration. And what we're finding is that these persons have damage to their pot heads or their meter stands. Now the pot head is that is the infrastructure on the top of your roof where the service wire is connected. What happened during the hurricane is that the strong wind caused the service wire to become dislodged or loosened, and so these persons haven't been able to get their supply back. What we ask is if you're in the community and everybody else has electricity and you don't, get your electrician to check to see if there's a problem with your meter stand or your pot head, and they will. It's an easy fix. They usually can fix this within an hour or so. Once it is dealt with, you contact us and we'll ensure that you are able to receive supply. We have actually been sharing a WhatsApp number for persons in St. Elizabeth who may still be without supply because of a problem on their own premises, and we've gotten a few reports in that regard. So our teams are actually on the road, making sure that we do that last cleanup of the few persons who might have problems on their own premises that need to be dealt with before they can connect to the line.
Mm-hmm. And what about the business areas? Those are naturally up.
What we found is that the businesses, we don't have a problem with the businesses.
Okay.
We're not getting complaints from them. I think a lot of businesses were proactive in ensuring that their properties were ready to receive the supply. So most of the complaints that we're getting are from the rural communities, and I tell you, some of the places are so far removed. You understand the challenge of getting into some of these places. So we're not seeing any problems with the businesses at this point. And let me quickly give you the WhatsApp number
Yes,
for
please.
anybody who might still be out. It's 876-450-0860. That's 876-450-0860. And this is a WhatsApp line. Any individual in St. Elizabeth who might still be without power since burial, you need to send your information to this WhatsApp number. What we'd love is for you to tell us exactly where you are and what's happening, so that we can send the right team to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Know that you can breathe a little easier. What is that feeling like? Having a whole country on your shoulders, so to speak.
Well, you know what? There are a lot of things that I was reminded of, and I learned during this process. I was reminded of how important electricity is for every aspect of life almost. And the that reminder was the what really propelled the JP's team members to work night and day, 24/7. We don't know what weekends or holidays are like because of that deep commitment to provide service to the nation. So it was really, for me, it was heartwarming and very encouraging to see my colleagues, the linemen out there. Let me tell you, Dervan, the work is not easy. I
Yes.
watch them and I see the physical exertion and the drive, the determination, and some of them didn't even have power at their own homes, and they were just working night day in rain and dangerous, difficult terrain to get the power back. And this is something that is really, really heartening. And people in the communities, they are so appreciative of it. But having completed this phase of the restoration, not that everybody has power back for the most part, what JPS is doing is what we call rebuilding.
Mhm.
That's because in St. Elizabeth in particular, because of the extent of the damage, it was pretty bad in some places. They literally had to rebuild, and that process has only just started, and it will continue over the next few months because we have to literally relocate some lines because of the difficult terrain. We to make them more accessible, easier to maintain. We have to take some of them where possible out of the gullies and out of swamps because there were a couple of areas that we couldn't get in for a while because of the flooding and
Mhm.
the challenge of getting the heavy equipment into those areas. The trucks couldn't go into some spaces, so that was really challenging for us. So we're doing some rebuilding, redesigning of the network in some places in order to facilitate the relocation of the line.
Redesigning and relocation.
Yes, it was pretty bad in sections of St. Elizabeth, and this also affected section of Manchester. Those communities that were the last to have come in. They were
Mhm.
fed by one of those distribution lines that came out of St. Elizabeth that we had a challenge getting to. So right now, the only people who are without supply from hurricane burial would be those that have problems on their own premises, or in a couple of cases, we are still not able to get access. I
Mhm.
know that in St. Elizabeth, there was one particular customer, the National Irrigation Service
Commission. Mhm.
Commission in IT. That's right.
Mhm.
There was one particular pump that we've been having a challenge getting to because of inaccessibility. I think it was land slippage, and so we're working with the relevant agencies to help us to get to those customers.
Okay.
And that again was another contributor to delays in getting some of our customers. That's where you had landslides,
Mm.
lots of damage, and that prevented us from getting to the customers.
Yes. We're scheduled to go to a break right now, and we also wanted to get in another word or two. Just a moment, please. Our guest at this time, listeners, Winsome Callum, the Director of Corporate Communications at the Jamaica Public Service Company Limited, and it's part of our parish focus, and the parish is St. Elizabeth. More in a moment.
You're listening to Pearl
3:46 on Power 106.
Do you own land and need your title now? Come to Geoland Title Limited. We do first-time title application, land surveys included, estate matters, lost title application, and remove names on your registered titles. Have no land documents? Come see us. We can help. We're in Kingston, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, St. Anne, Westmoreland, and St. James. Or see us online, geolandonline.com, or call 754-6436. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Geoland Title Limited, your land partners. Land title is our business.
I want to tell the farmers about the Digital Foundation. It not only helps with farming. I want you to know that something coming up called the 20 for 20 for 20 grants. If you're a registered community organization with disabilities, schools, even farmers, you need to apply for the grant at the Digital Foundation.org.
If you know one pop down and enke, you feel one mosquito and run with dengue. So no make water circle in open container. For them to read up under danger. Usher them out, run them away. Zap them with the zapper and dull them with spray. Use mosquito net and mosquito screen. Protect your household, now make them come in. If you know one pop down and enke, you feel one mosquito and run with dengue.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Tell my son, I work on earth is done. You're the one that can still hear them say, oh.
Is there anybody out there listening? And does anybody know?
Just letting you know that there is a WhatsApp number. If you missed the announcement a short while ago, there's a WhatsApp number for JPS customers, 876 450 0860. 876 450 0860. That's the JPS WhatsApp number. So they're just trying to ensure that there's due consideration in every area. Right, Winsome Callum?
Yes. Thank you, Dervan. That number is for any customer who is still without electricity as a result of burial. We have noted that in a few communities in St. Elizabeth, individuals have not been able to receive the supply even though it is in their community because of a problem on their premises. So we ask those who are so affected to send a message to us at this WhatsApp number. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks a lot. And that's Winsome Callum, the Director of Corporate Communications, Jamaica Public Service Company Limited. That's the number. All right, you're welcome. So we continue now with more on both sides of the story. And we're going to get a word now from the Office of the Member of Parliament, the Member of Parliament being the Honourable Floyd Green of Southwest St. Elizabeth, the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. Minister, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me to both here and abroad.
And where and how does this afternoon find you?
This afternoon finds me at Mountainside Primary, where we're having a back-to-school treat for the children, trying to get them to the frame of mind, last round for the term, and handing out some school supplies to help them get ready for the term. Mountainside Primary is one of the schools that was severely damaged by Hurricane Beryl. In fact, it lost 3 classrooms and the roof to the staff room and the guidance counselor room. And so we decided to do one of our back to school treats here for the children in the area. Normally, as you can imagine, if the school is severely damaged, it normally means that a lot of damage was done in surrounding communities. So the parents and the students who go to that school are normally severely impacted. So that's where I am now, and the turnout has been overwhelming.
How bad is it at this stage now, though? All other things being considered.
All things being considered, we've come a very far way. This is 8 weeks since Hurricane Dervan. Aside from our schools, the Ministry of Education really did a good job of mobilizing the contractors early and get them on the ground. So I think, for example, that Moses said we will be ready for next week. Let the school know where the roof went has been. All of that has been repaired. There's still some work to be done, and there's some cleanup on the inside. But I've already visited 3 of the 6 schools, well, 4 of the 6 schools that were damaged significantly. And work is underway at all of them. Some of them, I mean, we're going to really have to press this weekend to be ready for Monday. But definitely Mountain Side and Black River Primary and everything, I think they will be ready. Other two that I visited, Easy Place and Fulham, will really have to push hard to be ready. So that's on the school side. Electricity, as you know, was a big issue. Communities only got back electricity just this week. Some communities, even though they got back electricity on Sunday, went back down. So there are some communities still without electricity. But thank God that the minority of the constituency were definitely, I would say, 99% there. And that has alleviated a big burden because a lot of people were worried that they would start the school term without having electricity. I'm very happy that electricity has come back to most areas. Today we had a good day. That the Ministry of Labour started to handle check for people who have suffered major damage or total loss. And we had a ceremony in Santa Cruz. So a number of people from my constituency would have collected a check today, which just gives a big gift. Maybe we won't be able to buy anything immediately, but that would have helped. But that's just the start. And I know people are listening on today was first, and we have only a fraction of the list. And I know the Ministry of Labour has committed to me that they're still going to go out because they are aware that some people have been caught in the next. So they're still going out into communities and areas where they haven't been able to visit thus far. So all considered, I think we have passed over. And if you know, well, you know, not if you know the people of St. Elizabeth quite well. And you know, they're very, very resilient people. They're very, very optimistic people. And despite really suffering a tremendous blow, they remain positive. They've given God thanks for sparing their life, and they're pushing through.
And what about the farmers?
You know, I'm speaking in the office of the Member of Parliament. This constitutes a double blow because not only were the majority of our houses and the system of Labour confirmed today that St. Elizabeth had the most extensive damage. I can tell you, Southwest stood up as the constituency that had the most extensive damage of all. And unfortunately, a lot of the people who lost their roofs also lost their source of income because their source of income is farming or fishing, right? So that has been, the recovery process that we've been focusing on from the Ministry of Agriculture perspective. And 2 weeks after burial, we went into one of our hardest areas in Lalor, and we started the distribution of seeds so that people could try and get back out there. It would still be challenging because the money that people would use to get their farms back up and running, they had to be focusing some of that money in trying to get their houses back in order. So you can understand that was difficult, but we have been distributing and we have been moving across the constituency. A number of farmers, hundreds of farmers, in fact. I know for St. Elizabeth already, at least over 1,000 farmers have received some input to the form of seed. We started our fertilizer distribution. I know that the Radati was on the ground today distributing fertilizer. We're going to start our chicken program where we're going to help our small chicken farmers get back some chicken, and we're starting that tomorrow. And then our greenhouse farmers, which are very hard, with hopefully another week or two, we will help them with some material. We've also started with our fishers as well. A lot of them, if you know how our fisheries sector is from Dervan, a lot of them use what we call fish pots. They go out, they leave them, and then they come back in and they go back and pick them up. So after burying, they went back out of those pots. Those pots were nowhere to be found. So we're helping them with mesh wire so they can build back the pots to get back out there. And we've already done we're doing some more tomorrow. So, we are really focused on helping people recover. And what you do right now, what I love about the constituency and my people is that if you give them a start, they will take it from there, right? And that's what we're doing.
Yes. And other agricultural stakeholders?
Yeah, so we have been, we have reached now about up to Friday. We would have helped 7,059 farmers from across all parishes, right? And that is in providing them with an assortment of vegetable seeds or vegetable lines where the hardest hit, whether it's tomato, cabbage, lettuce. Those are the ones that suffered the most. So we started with that, and we've already done that. We've already distributed over 1,000 bags of fertilizer, helping about 500 farmers. We used them this year as a platform to help farmers, and we were able to help 418 farmers at them with a variety of input. All our groups are out, so all our agencies, their development board has provided 1,500 kilograms of seed to our dairy farmers, and we're now trying to work on a program for grant support for those who would have suffered spoilage by no electricity, so they couldn't keep their milk. Jackra is out helping our coffee farmers. Already 70 farmers have received about 160 bags of fertilizer in the West Rural area, and they're moving into East Rural this week. Next week, we want to be important. Banana board started to help our banana and plantain farmers. You would remember, banana and plantain is one of the sectors that suffered the most. About 90% of the commercial crop would have been wiped out. So we worked with the formula. Oftentimes, what they need is, again, fertilizer to help them get back on their feet. So we started that distribution in St. Mary this week. So we are focused on all sectors, all elements of our farming society and our fishers. So we've not only done St. Elizabeth, we've done 127 fishers in Clarendon. We're going to Westmorland. We've done some work in St. Mary. So, it will take us some time because the damage was expensive, about over 48,000 farmers or 11,000 fishers. I think what people have seen is that it is the earliest our government has been able to respond. I was able to respond because we had the financial flexibility to be able to say we're going to reallocate of our budget to do this, knowing that we could go back to the Ministry of Finance to get that put back. So we didn't have to wait. We started procurement, we started sources. I think that has gone a far way to help us get back on our feet as quickly as possible.
Well, we wish you all the best as you continue.
Thank you. I know the constituency is near and dear to your heart and the parish. So we look forward to your next visit with us.
Sorry, just a moment. Let's just take this break and come right back, please.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time at Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock. Power 106 FM, the digital sound, and now reaching you in more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to
they will know us by our love.
And imagine how it felt as you lay there, dark through the heat and the cold, with your friend by your side, hold his hand and watched him die, and cried as you prayed for his soul. I can't imagine how it felt as you stood there, the winds that would just let go. Kiss my wife,
Tell my son our work on earth is done. You're the one that can still even say, oh. Is there anybody else?
Thanks a lot for staying with us on this special edition of St. Elizabeth Parish Focus here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. We've been speaking with the Honourable Floyd Green, the Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Elizabeth, and of course, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. We're also, well, let's just give the Minister an opportunity to round out what you were alluding before we had to take the break, Minister.
Thank you, Dervan. So I'll make 2 points. One, just to the people listening, there are still people in need. It's not that we have gotten over everything. Remember, over 1,000 houses were damaged. Unfortunately, one of those are elderly people who are now on a pension and not able to put things back. So any support that can be given, we will still appreciate it. I know it's easy to move on, but it will take us some time to recover completely. And then I want to just thank you, Dervan, for focusing on the parish. I know it's near and dear to your heart, and we hope to see you back down here.
Looking forward to that. Under, how do I put this now? Under a setting that is not as hectic as it has been.
Absolutely.
In trying to cope. But thank you and your team for the work you continue to do.
No problem.
And
Thank
we
you.
will do our part as well.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you too. Take care. That's the Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Elizabeth and Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, the Honourable Floyd Green, speaking with us here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. And we are going to speak now with, we'll keep the program going here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. So we want to hear some more on the restoration efforts. And I'm thinking of the Treasure Beach general area and the best person I could think of at a time such as this is Jason Hensel, Managing Director of Bread's Treasure Beach Foundation, Managing Director of Jack Sprat Seafood and Pizzas, Jake's Hotel and Villas. And he and his respective teams have made their contribution and putting in the work, as it were. And we want to hear more about that. The restoration efforts from Beryl impact. That's the impact of Hurricane Beryl on the tourism sector in St. Elizabeth, plus to get an idea of the efforts made and being made to build back stronger. And so we're going to say hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Jason Hensel, Managing Director of Bread's Treasure Beach Foundation, Managing Director of Jack Sprat Seafood and Pizzas, Jake's Hotel and Villas. Thank you so much, Jason Hensel, for joining us. How are you?
I am doing well, Dervan. I'm doing well. I mean, when I look outside the window from where I'm speaking, I'm looking across my beautiful hotel, which needs a lot of work, but we're making progress every day. And, we just have to keep perspective, knowing that it could have been so much worse and there was no loss of life.
Yes. And how would you characterize the whole experience of which the has been going through since the onset of Hurricane Beryl?
It has been a mix of emotions, because for the first few days after the hurricane, it's as though you are still in shock.
Mhm.
You're trying to absorb the gravity of what has taken place. And you're not going to see everything in the first few days.
Mhm.
So the more you drive and walk and talk to people, is the more you realize that some persons were spared, other persons were, severely damaged, and other persons received minor damage.
Mhm.
And, you really see the dynamics of the family structure, of the community structure, the level of trust and respect among persons. And you just see how it unfolds. And we're 2 months past now, and we're very pleased to know that we have electricity back, we have water back, and we have now delivered roofing material to 376 homes
Mhm.
across 30 different districts, of which Treasure Beach would comprise of 8 districts. So we've been able to go past the borders of Treasure Beach into adjoining districts. This is something that I'm exceedingly proud of, because it has been playing a very, very critical role and expanding on the partnerships we had before, gaining some new ones to be able to have the impact that we're having so far.
Yes. And how has the tourism sector, especially as far as it is concerned, how has the process been?
Again, it's been something that's hard to watch
Mm.
because you have such a mix and match of accommodation, for instance.
Okay.
You have people who have owned properties in Treasure Beach literally from the 50s and 60s, local Treasure Beach families, all the way up to, a villa that would have been recently purchased or recently built.
Mhm.
So you have the dynamic of an old traditional, Treasure Beach heritage family, all the way up to, someone who may be from Kingston or maybe from New York or Canada in that respect, who has recently bought, and everyone in between. So I know, for instance, that the JSIF, the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, they put out that they were willing to help with certain things, small generators, tanks, things of this nature to get people back on their feet. Some persons responded, some didn't. There's been a severe inconsistency with the level of communication. The phone systems are up and down very wildly for many weeks. And then, of course, we've been able to raise quite a substantial amount of money through the American Friends of Jamaica. What we did is we reached out to a lot of our guests who had visited over the years and spoke about the damage and been very, forthright about it, not overplaying it, not underplaying it, but being as accurate as possible. And, what we have done is gotten a lot of donations in, and then we were invited by Michael Leachin and Failure Lynn to be their partner with the MC Matching Fund. So we were able to double the money by doing that. And then we were able to find partners that were willing to give us discounts on building materials, particularly hardware and lumber and tankwell metals, and in awards power tools, because we purchased 2 commercial generators from Wards within the first 10 days of the storm to make sure to get power back to the generators, to the wells that would give water back to the community. So that was one of the things that I personally headed up, that kind of fundraising charge.
Mm-hmm.
And we got money for the first generator through an entity in Florida called the Global Empowerment Mission.
Mm-hmm.
And the American Friends of Jamaica. And then we got that matched by NCD Foundation. And we were able to buy the first generator for $13 million. And then we bought a second generator for the Batchfield, the Little Park pumping station. And that was $10.5 million. And between those 2 pumps, those 2 generators, we were able to give water to thousands and thousands of persons within the Pedro Plains division. The second money would have come from the Tourism Enhancement Fund, the Jamaica Hotel and Tourism Association, and an entity in Great Bay called Micro Meditation. So it was all about looking at the need, prioritizing, and finding the right partners to come on board for each particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have distributed close to 4,000 food packages now. We've distributed hundreds of tarpaulins, had some smaller generators and Starlink that we set up in different areas so that persons could charge their phone and keep in touch with loved ones. So as we have seen power come back to the area now, we've been able to, get those generators back in as persons get back up on their feet.
Mm-hmm.
With respect, for instance, to Lovers Leap, I would have had the opportunity to meet the Minister of Tourism up there with the head of the Tourism Enhancement.
One moment. Please tell us some more right after this break. Please.
Borough 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app. And does anybody know my name? No, my friend, we were not there, but we're here and we care. And yes, we feel your pain. And yes, we feel your pain.
I can't imagine how you felt as you sat there, trying to hide the fear upon your face. And as the earth begins to cry, and you ask the preacher why, tonight we can hear the children say, hear them say,
Is there anybody out there listening? And does anybody know my name? No, my friend, we were not there, but we are here and we care. Yes, we feel your pain. Oh, yeah, does anybody out?
A special song for a special people here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. It's a special parish focus program, parish focus edition, celebrating Saint Elizabeth. Just being grateful for the level of resilience that has demonstrated the essence of community. We've been speaking with a gentleman we hadn't seen for a little while, for I mean, he obviously has work to do. All of what happened, and it's so good. You feel a sense of normalcy when you see someone like Mr. Jason Hensel, managing director of Bread's Treasure Beach Foundation, managing director Jack Sprat Seafood and Pizza, Jake's Hotel and Villas. You were sharing with us I think you started mentioning some partners.
Yes, you know, we had the global empowerment mission. They were the first persons on the ground. There was a plane that landed in Montego Bay literally on a Saturday, 4 days after the hurricane. And by the
Wow.
Sunday, we were delivering 1,700 boxes of food to the various districts. This gentleman, his name is Michael Capone, and he is a friend of a villa owner in Treasure Beach that we manage a villa for, the Akamas. And, you know, the trust was there, and he was told that Brett would be a true partner, and we had never met. And here it was that, you know, we were able to get this level of support. Within 5 days, we were giving out care packages to persons, you know, and because of our knowledge of the need in the community, you know, we were able to do it in an equitable way, in a respectful way, in a way that showed, you know, a level of humility to persons, even though we know that things were tough out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've just been keeping that strategy as we push out from Treasure into, you know, our neighboring communities. We would have had the American Friends of Jamaica. We would have had the NCD Foundation with the $150 million matching fund. And they would have selected 4 partners, of which Bread would have been one, Food for the Poor, United Way, and the AFJ.
Mm-hmm.
So later on, the Global Empowerment Mission were made a full partner. Okay? So we were able to, you know, as I said, leverage that money to go out. And you had companies like CPJ, you had companies like Seprod and Muslim Group who would have brought different food packages to us. The Airport Authority of Jamaica, they made a donation of $2.5 million. You know, you would have had a fundraiser in Cape Cod because a lot of persons from Treasure Beach go up there and do seasonal work. You would have had a fundraiser in New Orleans. We would have seen 2 fundraisers in Kingston. One would have been a pickleball and one would have been a squash tournament. You'd have seen Lara Lowe and her daughters auctioning some art and doing an open mic. So what has been beautiful throughout this process, Dervan, is to see how different people have reacted, both local persons and overseas. Persons of all different types of backgrounds and ethnicities, young and old, coming together, saying that, you know, they would have visited Treasure Beach at some point and it made an impression on them. They know that there's a time of need and they wanted to assist in some small way. You know, we've had donations of $20 US. We've had $1,000 from individual people. You know, so you have individuals, companies, and then national
companies.
Mhm.
About Lovers League,
Yes, yes.
break.
Mhm.
And when we would have leased Lovers League from the government, say 6, 7 years ago, it would have been in need of tremendous repair and upgrading. And we're very proud of what we've done there. And then, of course, we would have seen a dip because of COVID closed down. And then, came back and became very successful again. But unfortunately, Beryl would have taken off the roof
Mhm.
because Lover's Leap sits right on the edge of that 1,700-foot cliff, and it's a very exposed property. So one of the discussions we're having with the Ministry of Tourism to replace that roof with a slab roof because it is just so exposed where it's located. So we're working through that, and we're hoping that as soon as possible we will see Lovers League reopen. We hope that we will be able to catch some of the upcoming winter season. But in the meantime, what we're doing is we're building another gazebo and keeping the name alive because people know Lovers League and they will come by, both locals, diaspora, foreigners, and we want to make sure that when they come, they can at least enjoy the view, have a hot meal, have a cold drink. People know that yes, you are damaged, but you still have the door open
Mhm.
and that you're still welcoming and accommodating persons while you will build back. And quite honestly, Dervan, I think there's a way to tell the story as you rebuild and reopen.
Mhm.
And we came up with this tagline that was a very obvious one. We said we're rebuilding with love.
Mhm.
And why did we say that? Because every single person who gave money to Treasure Beach, it's because there's something about this community and the people of this community that they would have fallen in love with. And we wanted to capture that. So one of the things we did was we worked with this art teacher and young children to create these signs that said rebuilding with love.
Mhm.
And we've been giving these signs to sponsors. We've been taking pictures and uploading them on social media. And, it's powerful to see a 7, 8 year old child with a big smile on their face holding a sign that they themselves have just made that
Mhm.
says rebuilding with love. It's a powerful statement.
Indeed.
And people would have seen that from abroad. And, you know, we don't want to play the victim here.
Mhm.
We want to rejoice that we know it could have been much worse.
Mm.
And, tell the story as the story is unfolding
Mm.
and make people feel like they are a part of our recovery and that we're grateful for it.
Mm. And you seem to have received swift feedback and responses. And it just,
Immediate.
yeah, yes.
Immediate. There was one young lady in a place called Short Hill and she had 3 children and her house blew down right to the foundation.
Mm.
And she took back up the zinc and the board and she made a little tent. And she was living under this tent. And I asked her if she was okay with me taking a picture. And she said, fine, this is how I live, this is who I am right now. And within 24 hours, somebody responded to say that they wanted to build a house for that young lady and her children.
Oh, wow.
And I think the way you do things, Derval, is so important
Mhm.
because we know that there are many, many, many other desperate cases out there. We know that the people of Portland Cottage and Rocky Point, Alligator Pond, they would have had tremendous loss as well.
Mhm.
So you have to be respectful in how you send the message out.
Yes.
And in this particular case, it was Howard Ward, the same man who we had bought the generators from.
and he sent a crew down, a trailer truckload of building material, and we put some of our crew with his crew, and they built back the house for the young lady, and then he donated some of the material that was left to bread, and then he took some up to Yardley Chase, where his partner is from, because up there would have had serious loss as well.
Mhm.
So I think when Ed Bartlett came, he was surprised to know that this is a true community tourism story in the making, because it was right here in front of him to see.
Mhm.
And I think he was a bit startled to understand the level of support that we were getting in such a short period of time, and the fact that we could react in such a very quick way to some of the needs of some of the persons.
Yes. And so, in terms of your log right now, going forward,
Yeah, so we're
what?
going to be working with fishermen and farmers, and of course, they're going back to school. We see a tremendous need there.
Yes.
So we have identified 250 of the most, needed cases, persons who would really appreciate something to get back to school. So we've identified 250 students, 130 farmers, and 135 fishermen. So those persons will be getting vouchers to go to Tiny Tots in Santa Cruz and to get their books and uniforms. They would be getting, in the case of the fishermen, a voucher to buy fishing wire, which we're getting at a discount from Tanquil Metals. And they would be getting, in the case of the farmers, a voucher to go to Hardware and Lumber, H&L Agro, to get farming input. So again, we're doing this with respect, with humility, and with tremendous gratitude.
Mhm.
And we've received some beautiful messages from persons, and as we share those messages, we get more support, and as we get more support, we can go into more districts and do more.
Mhm.
And it's like a snowball effect. And I really want to encourage persons out there who are listening, get involved in an active nonprofit organization, get involved in community development at the smallest level, because once you see a need and you can build partners, it will create bigger and bigger opportunities for you
Mhm.
and for the community in which you live. And that's something that I'm so grateful to have learned over the years.
And as we get ready to wrap, are there any further reflections or stories you'd like to share?
Why, there's so many emotional stories, and when you go out there and you see the needs of persons, for the most part, I would say that in our Jamaican culture, we are extremely, we have a lot of faith, and persons immediately look at the bright side of things and say, at least we're alive.
Mhm.
At least we don't have an arm broken off from a flying piece of thing.
Mhm.
I remember visiting a family a few days after the hurricane, and the grandfather had a stroke,
Uh-oh.
and the children and grandchildren wrapped him up in a piece of tarpaulin. And as the roof of their house flew off, they they carried the man across to the neighbor where he would have rode out the storm. And as his wife was telling us the story, the gentleman was just there, just in tears. in front of us, you know, and his name is Bowie, and he's one of the first persons we were able to not only give materials to, but also provide labor to put a roof back on his house. And he has moved back into his house. His family are so grateful. And, you know, those are the stories that will just stick with you to the rest of your life, you know. When you look into the eyes of someone who really went through the trauma, in some cases, Dervan, it would be the third time that person would have lost their roof in 30 years, in 20 years. We have lost it in Ivan, Dean, and now Beryl. And some persons are opting to go for a deck roof, even if it's one safe room in their house. They have one room where there's a kitchen room, a bedroom. Even if that room is only 12 foot by 12 foot, they want to see that they can strive to have one room that is decked, so that in the future, you know, they wouldn't have a fear of losing their entire roof. So, of course, in cases like that, you have to make sure that the walls are secure enough to hold a belting to put on a decking, you know. So I'm learning a lot about building and about partnerships. And I'm just fortunate to be in the position that I am. I have a lot of support with the committee and the board members. And, you know, we're gaining strength every day just by seeing how persons are putting their lives back together. We still have a long way to go. But I believe that by November, December, persons, for the most part, will have put their lives back together and will be back on their feet. And we will look back at this period and just be so grateful that we would have been able to unite and build these partnerships to pull through it.
Yes. Very well put. And the moment captured succinctly and respectfully in the face of all that has happened since the onset of Hurricane Beryl. Warmest regards to the entire community, family, South Coast, Jamaica, all those who have been impacted one way or another, and those who continue to play their part. We salute you and we thank you for all that you do in service to your
Thank
country.
you too, Dervan.
Yes.
You do a large part by exposing these type of stories across the country. And I'm grateful to you as well, sir.
Good. Likewise.
You have a lovely evening.
Same to you. Take
Okay.
care. Bye-bye. We're speaking there with Jason Hensel, the managing director of Bread's Treasure Beach Foundation, managing director of Jack Sprat Seafood and Pizza, Jake's Hotel and Villas. We are coming towards the end. Oh, we need to take a break? Okay, let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:36 on Power 106.
Morning Agenda continues the tradition of providing a unique platform for healthy public debate. Weekdays from 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join Julie and Corey on Mondays and Tuesdays, and Kenwan McEachron on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they alternate on Fridays, as they set the agenda and break down the issues, and keep you informed on what matters to you most. Morning Agenda, speaking with the stakeholders, movers and shakers of our day, serving listeners in Jamaica and around the world. Stay tuned to the Morning Agenda on Power 106 FM, weekdays 7:15 to 9 a.m., where we set the agenda.
I was hungry for making they don't know us far enough. Can you imagine how it felt as you lay there, the dark through the heat, through the cold, with your friend by your side, held his hand and watched him die, right as you prayed for his soul. I can't imagine how it felt as you stood there, the winds that would just not go away. Kiss my wife, tell my son, my work on earth is done. The one that can still be the same. Oh. Is there anybody out there listening? And does anybody know my name? No, my friend, we were not there, but we're here and yes, we feel your pain. Yes, we feel your pain. I can't imagine how you felt as you suffered, trying to hide the fear of your.
Thanks a lot for staying with us on this special edition of both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, primarily focused on St. Elizabeth in our parish focus series. We are going to share some messages with you as well. I beg your pardon, yes, we want to prepare our listeners for what is to come in terms of World Coconut Day. That's September 2 is World Coconut Day. And we want to hear more from the Chief Executive Officer of the Coconut Industry Board, Mr. Sean Cameron. Mr. Cameron, good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. I'm okay, and you?
I am fine, thanks. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're most welcome.
Yes. So, the 2nd of September is World Coconut Day, and there's a lot that will be happening on the day, and we're anxious to get a heads up as to all that will be happening to mark the occasion. Where would you like to start?
So, World Coconut Day is celebrated on the 2nd of September every year. We are part of the international coconut community. The main offices hosted at Indonesia, Jakarta. So all the coconut producing countries are part of this ICC, and Jamaica is one of those leading entities in the international coconut community where our scientists have been recognized internationally and contribute to the development of the coconut sector, not only locally but internationally. So we try to celebrate the tree of life, which is considered the coconut tree, and honor that on World Coconut Day because it's the livelihood for billions of people throughout the world. And it's considered the tree of life because every aspect of the coconut has some value to someone. And we just want to introduce that celebration here at Jamaica. This year is the 2nd year we are celebrating World Coconut Day. And we have a lot of stakeholders and a lot of information to share with the public. And the goal is to have this as a calendar event moving forward for Jamaica.
Mm-hmm. So, outside of the Coconut Industry Board itself, Are there other partners who are on board as well?
Yes, so far we have 16 partners. The Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Franklin, which will be in attendance. We have JACRA, we have CARDI, Caribbean Agriculture Research and Development Institute, the SRC, Jamaica Customs, National Health Fund, JAMPRO, Agro Invest, Nature's Premium, Hartrust, NTA, Newport Person, just to name a few, Caribbean Chemicals, Think Lifestyle Investment, and Vineyard Town Premium Blend, who does the coconut-based ice cream.
Mhm.
So we have over 16, or close to 16 participants.
Is there a particular theme that you're working with?
Yes. Coconut in the circular economy.
Mhm.
So how does coconut benefit the small man on the ground, the farmer, the agro processor, right through the value chain, so to speak, the
Mhm.
coconut within the circular economy.
So I like the idea of the circular economy. So it's ultimately demonstrating that there is no, in a manner of speaking, there is no end to the the apparatus that is set up, for example, for processing.
That's
One
right.
thing moves to leads to another, and another is connected to another and another, and it's
You're
unending.
100% correct.
Mm.
100% correct. Because
Mhm.
just the simple thing of planting out the seedlings, you have to get fertilizer from person. You have to get your person to come and till the soil and maintain the crop. Get water. You know, when you're fruiting, you have to get individuals to climb the tree and harvest the coconuts for you. Then you have to get transportation, send it to an agro processor, and it processes it into whether coconut water, coconut oil, or any other byproduct that is of value to you at that particular time. So it takes into consideration a lot of variables and individuals, as you pointed out earlier.
Yes, and there is something about coconut water, isn't there? Wherever in the world you are, at some point or another, you're going to.
It
Ah,
is nature's, my chairman likes to say, it is nature's electrolyte.
there you
You
go.
know,
Hmm.
as an athlete, as somebody who plays tennis, runs, or maintains their health,
Hmm.
it's the best product to have
Yes,
after that strenuous exercise or sporting activities, nature's electrolyte.
it's priceless. I can imagine the demand here in Jamaica and elsewhere in the world.
Yes, the coconut industry by 2030 is predicted to be 35 to $50 million industry. Jamaica is
35. Give us that again, please.
projected to be a 35 to $50 billion industry.
Wow.
Yes,
Mhm.
because remember, you know that you can go into nutraceuticals,
Oh,
pharmaceuticals.
yes. Hold it right there one moment, please. We just need to take a quick break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:46 on Power 106. Thanks for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And our guest at this time is the Chief Executive Officer of the Coconut Industry Board, Mr. Sean Cameron. And you were about to take us into some other directions when it comes on to the coconut.
Yes, so because it's a $1 billion industry,
Mhm.
projected to grow significantly over the years as more people are focusing on healthier lifestyle products
Mhm.
instead of the processed or infused products or GMOs or so stuff like that. They want natural products. It was all coconut oil was not considered a healthy lifestyle oil. It gave way to canola oil and vegetable oil. But due to the research of the Coconut Industry Board, we were able to stand firm with the US and explain to them the value of coconut oil being a healthy alternative, just alongside olive oil. I know the world has taken note. There has been scientific research on the benefits of coconut oil for Alzheimer's disease and also people suffering from COVID. So it's a miracle fruit, or should I use the word fruit, that Jamaica has the capacity to leverage and grow as an industry because we're fortunate in the world to have the third coconut board in the entire world. Coconut board existed from 1930s in a different format, but became the Coconut Industry Board in 1945. So we're one of the older legacy institutions, actually business in Jamaica. A lot of people don't know the history of the Coconut Industry Board and what we have done to sustain and maintain the coconut industry. Dervan, are you familiar with the yellow disease?
I used to hear a lot about it some time ago.
Yes. So Jamaica was close to losing the coconut industry. We used to manufacture copra, which is the primary jelly. When you used to grate the thunder to your coconut cream, the rice and peas and so forth. So that we normally use that to make soap and other byproducts. So we used to be a large scale exporter of copper to Britain, England. Back in the day we were a colony of England. So
Yes.
the big land, the rich white men used to come to Jamaica, own land and plant our coconuts. So we were a business back then. Unfortunately, Rita Yellen came and destroyed the industry. We had 9 million trees in production. And
You had what? 9 million trees. Whoa.
Yeah, estimated 9 million trees in production. Gilbert took 1 million and Rita Yellen the rest. So we lost the entire industry.
My God.
Exactly. But due to the perseverance of the Coconut Industry Board, led by scientists and leadership at the time, we were able to come up with hybrids that is combining two different varieties of coconut that has more resistance to the lethal yellow disease. Thus, we implemented a planting program. So after we developed the hybrids, our registered farmers were able to access free planting material. I think from the 90s to help grow out the industry and resuscitate and revive the coconut industry. So we're up to an estimated 4 million trees now, and we plan to push and grow further. The problem now is that the small farmers are not able to absorb the seeding capacity because they have a 5 acre, they have a. What we want now is large scale landowners to go into coconut. So if you have a 200 acres, you have a 50 acres, the coconut industry board is willing to work with you to help build and develop your capacity. So we can go back to our 9 million trees or even.
I can just imagine the event, what array of items that will be available.
Yes. So from World Coconut Day on Saturday, we have all the stakeholders that I listed before will be participating. So there's knowledge transfer. So Dervan, if you have land in country and you want to know what it is to start up a coconut farm and what is the support you can get, you can attend World Coconut Day and you will have one stop, one place where you can get all that information. We have activities for the kids, rock climbing, face painting and so forth. We have coconut-based products from an agro-processing standpoint. We have Nature's Premium that does beauty products from the coconut itself. A brilliant, wonderful lady, Miss Jones, and she has done beautiful coconut products. We'll have our coconut shop as usual, providing you with greater cake and gizzard and the various coconut products. We have prizes and giveaways. As you know, it's back to school, and the reason why we're not celebrating World Coconut Day on the 2nd, and we decided decided to hold it on a Saturday to give the parents the opportunity to come participate while they do their back to school shopping, win some items for their kids to go back to school. There's a major prize based on one of our partnerships with Alligator Head Foundation where they will get a free gift for glass bottom boat tour in Portland, one of the most beautiful parishes in Jamaica has to offer, for a family of four. So we're trying to leverage our relationships in the industry and basically inform the public on what the coconut industry is about and just to reward and thank our customers over the years and stakeholders and farmers for being part of the coconut industry family.
Mhm. And I think you had shared with us the partners, some of the partners on board, about 16, you said?
Yes.
Hmm. So you're getting very, very good support in that regard.
Yes, we do have wonderful relationships with our industry partners. A lot of people don't know about the Coconut Industry Board, although we are one of the oldest institutions in Jamaica.
Mhm.
But from last year to this year, we have developed significant relationships with our stakeholders, and they like the direction of the Coconut Industry Board. They like the leadership of what we're doing for the industry, and they decided to support and partner so we can grow as a team and grow inside.
Yes. Yes, and there's also an opportunity to see the different types of uh, coconut. What do you say? Trees or seedlings? Mhm.
But we do have coconut trees on the premises. I think my scientists of them, we maybe demonstrating to the farmers and backyard farmers the coconut climbing machine. Um, so it's a unique experience and
Mhm.
it's part of our culture. I always say that when you think of an island, the first thing that comes to mind is the beach and a coconut tree. And I want Jamaicans to think of Jamaica with a coconut industry board. So we are that coconut tree for the Jamaica.
Yes. All right. So, listeners, it's happening on Saturday. That's this Saturday. It's going to be a celebration of the coconut like you've never seen it before. Everything coconut, food, cosmetics, the whole works. And you are invited to be a part of it. And we ask that you spread the word and let everybody know that in celebration of the coconut, there's a big event happening on Saturday. Can you remind us of those hours, the periods of time?
Yes, so it's about between 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Mhm.
So a full day,
Yeah, that's more than enough time.
more than enough time. So even if you come for an hour, you come for 30 minutes, you'll be able to participate.
That's right. So, listeners, if you haven't decided how you're going to spend Saturday, how about the Coconut Festival, which is happening on Saturday? Yes, Saturday coming, and you're invited to go out and support the celebration of the coconut. How about that? And I would imagine you're going to have the music playing as well.
You know
The
how we
film.
do. You know, we are one of the happiest, fun-loving set of people in the
Mm,
entire world. So we
mm,
maintain that quality and standard.
absolutely. And before you go, any other information that you'd like to share?
Just that the coconut board will be supporting its farmers in the recovery from Hurricane Beryl, especially the registered farmers that provide us with jelly. We have done our assessment and we're looking to start the distribution after World Coconut Day. And we also be helping those farmers farmers who are not registered with the coconut board who has experience enough by providing them with planting material.
Mhm. And I don't think I asked, but how did Hurricane Beryl treat the coconut?
So the coconut sector is a very robust sector. The coconut tree can withstand a category 3 hurricane. You may just have lots of nuts, but the trees will stand up. They are able to flex and bend in the harsh hurricane winds. So industry suffered minor losses and between 3 to 4% loss overall. So we were spared and very fortunate with our recovery. And then unfortunately, it happened most of the storm hit the west, which is not a traditional coconut producing area. But we're looking to grow that side of the country when it comes to coconut development because it's close to tourism.
Okay. Well, we want to congratulate you and your team for your stewardship. So far, so good. Mr. Sean Cameron, Chief Executive Officer of the Coconut Industry Board. And do go out, let us go out and support the sector, the coconut industry. Let's go out and support the members of the team at the Coconut Industry Board and just industry stakeholders in general, so that we can be even more fruitful. We're out of time now, though. Thank you very much, and we'll have look. Okay, thank you too, and we look forward to an enjoyable Saturday as well. Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. We're out of time. All things being well, both sides of the story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
You're listening to Borough 106 FM. The time is now 5 o'clock. News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Our 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.
JPS says it has completed restoration of electricity in St. Elizabeth